Today's topic, nitrogen pressure testing. And we could say vacuum, but vacuuming through refrigerant gauges is definitely not the recommended procedure. But if you were desperate and if you were going to do it and you wanted to do the best job you possibly can, this is the way it was done in my grandfather's day. This is the way my dad did it, and this is the way my dad taught me when I started out. Whether you're doing vacuum or nitrogen, you make your soft copper lines instead of using rubber hoses. Everything is flare fittings. In my dad's day, you use Vaseline or refrigerant oil, what was just plain mineral oil, because all we had was R22 and R12, R11, stuff like that. So copper, you're not going to leak. Now this particular copper might leak because it was from isopolar, and isopolar leaks like a freaking sponge. But of course this is brand new isopolar, and it's just been exposed to the atmosphere, so I don't think the formatory corrosion is going to eat away at this copper and cause it to leak right now. Now I'm replacing all my isopolar jobs I've done in the past few years. As I come across the first leak in their copper, you just replace all the copper in the entire system. If you ever come out to a job with isopolar and you find one or two leaks throughout the system, don't spot fix it, bid it to replace the entire system of all the copper. Okay, off on that rant. Get back to nitrogen pressure testing. So I already went through step one, say 150 pounds and 350 pounds. Now, in the past years, you would go all the way up to 600 or 650 psi, depending what manufacturer's equipment you were installing. Here I'm doing the LG. They no longer go up to 600 psi. Now they're recommending 550. And they used to say, let's use for example, you would raise your nitrogen pressure to 150 psi and you'd do that for 8 hours and you would let it stand. Then you would go to 350 psi, you would go for 8 hours, you would let it stand. If it passed those two tests, you would take it up to 600 or 650, whatever they called for, and you would let it stand for 24 hours. If it passed that test, then you would go through your vacuum procedure and get ready to fill up with your refrigerant adder for your pipe length and everything, and start the unit up. In this situation, and every time you go up, here I have my fittings. I really hate fittings. I really want to get 5/8 fittings and totally eliminate this 1/4 inch bullshit we do here in America. But every time you go up a pressure, double check and recheck again all your fittings, because maybe the system doesn't leak, but your connections at your fittings around your stuff leaks. So keep rechecking all this every time you raise the pressure. Don't let your equipment be the problem. Use a